Can you hear me now? All right, good morning, everyone. I am First Alert Meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. Cool, okay, beautiful. A couple of things got changed around. I just had to make sure that I was doing everything correctly. Now I believe you can hear me. So this is why we have the first alert today. It's a rainy and stormy morning. In fact, that one severe thunderstorm warning that is just over the Alabama and Georgia line, we'll be watching that over in parts of Troup and Meriwether counties over in the LaGrange area, as that storm is particularly carrying some gusty wind upwards of 60 miles per hour and penny-sized hail. So we'll be watching that. If it does make it over into parts of Troup County, we will be sure to update you. But just a heads up in LaGrange, I'll give you a little timing on that in just a second. In the meantime, some light to moderate rain across the metro inside the perimeter. Again, the heaviest rain for the metro northward is pretty much over. Now all of it is to our south. Even places like Henry County still getting some fairly steady rain. Over in Jasper and Putnam counties and Lamar County getting some heavy rain. This line of storms you're looking at did end up becoming strong, not severe, but strong 40-mile-per-hour gusts. And then, of course, all eyes are on this little cluster of storms that's moving towards LaGrange at the east at 30 miles per hour, carrying, again, gusty wind and penny-sized hail. So within the next 10 to 15 minutes or so, we'll be watching for you in LaGrange. If this storm holds together, could have some gusty wind, again, upwards of 60 miles per hour, maybe some penny-sized hail as well. All of that will be possible. And if it does end up warning in places like Troup and Meriwether counties, then we will be sure to update you on our app. It's a great tool to have today. And we'll be able to give you an idea of how long that warning will go and exactly the direction that it's moving and what the threats are within it. Now, I did see a little bit of weak rotation within that cluster of storms, so we'll be watching that. I think our tornado threat is very low today, but it's still something that we will be watching. I think our gusty wind, damaging wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour in severe storms, and then the small hail threat is going to be our greatest threat. Our threat is very isolated, though, so not going to be an outbreak kind of situation for us today. In fact, here's a look at our severe outlook. As I mentioned, if you're from Atlanta northward, really I-20 northward, you're pretty much done with any kind of severe threat today. You really didn't have a severe threat to start with. We have a wedge in place, and we're going to talk about that in a second, but the heaviest rain and storm activity that probably woke you up in places like Atlanta earlier this morning, that's pretty much said and done for you. Our focus now is pretty much going to shift south of I-20 through the mid-afternoon. Around 4 or 5 o'clock, I think we'll be able to bring our severe threat to an end. Good morning, Michael. Thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning. Alrighty, so here's a look at our storm risks. Lightning is going to be a factor today, not widespread, and really, again, our storm threat not widespread today. Wind and hail will be our two greatest threats, still low. Tornadoes are going to be a low-end threat, extremely low. I'm not going to go as far as saying it's going to be none. I do think there is going to be some rotation present, but I think the better chance to see any kind of brief spin-up is going to be south of us in more central Georgia and closer to the coast, but still something we'll be watching for as we go through the day today. So what's happening right now, and the reason our severe threat kind of diminished yesterday, you might remember all of Metro, all of North Georgia was under at least a level 1, and now that's not the case. Now the threat, which also has lessened, is south of I-20. It's because we have a wedge building in. It's an area of high pressure off to our northeast, pulling in cool but also stable air. So as that area of high pressure continues to strengthen, that's going to push this weather system as a whole to our south and push any kind of dynamics for severe weather also south of the city. Again, along and south of I-20 is where we're going to be looking for, as that wedge is going to provide stable air for us. And when you have stability, you can't have severe storms. So notice the temperatures. We're at 61 in LaGrange, 44 in Blairsville. So that's almost a 20-degree difference. That's that wedge bringing in that cold, stable air. But LaGrange, you are outside the reach of kind of the protection of that wedge. So that's why we're going to be looking south of I-20 for maybe an isolated severe storm today. You just are not going to be under that cooler and stable air that a lot of the metro is. And you can kind of see that severe threat from Atlanta northward not present anymore. South of I-20, where that wedge isn't taking control, you're under that severe threat today. So again, south of I-20 is where we'll be looking starting about now. So between any time between around 10 o'clock to around 4 or 5 o'clock this evening, we'll be watching for maybe an isolated strong to severe storm. Greatest threat's going to be damaging wind, maybe some small hail as well. Again, that one storm that's out moving towards LaGrange right now, penny-sized hail being reported in that. And we will watch for some rotation in these storms. I don't think the tornado threat is something that we're necessarily super concerned about, but it's still something we'll be watching for. And of course, if anything does fire up where we do have some sort of tornado situation, we will be on air for you. If we have any severe thunderstorms, that will be sent to your phone through the app, so be sure to have it, and we'll be sure to track that for you as well there. So as we go through the late morning, rain will continue to push off to the east-southeast. So places like Clark County over in Athens, Jasper and Putnam County, over in the Covington area, so parts of Newton, Rockdale County, you'll get all the rain as we head into the late morning, and we'll get a little bit of a lull as we head towards lunchtime. It's still going to be very misty out there, so even though the heaviest of rain is done for Atlanta and for the metro area, it's going to be very misty with that wedge in place, so expect it to be really just cold and drizzly through the day. Notice temperatures hovering generally in the 40s into the mid 50s. If you're south of Atlanta, you're going to stay in the 60s through the day today. As we head into the afternoon, here's the heat of the day, 3, 4 o'clock. We'll watch for any kind of secondary wave to roll through and maybe could spark up an isolated severe storm, but I think most of the focus will be south of our area, more towards central Georgia and the coast as we head into the evening hours. Again, our threat is isolated at best. I do think that as we head into the next few minutes with that one severe warned storm, we'll be watching for that, and then maybe just an isolated chance for a strong to severe storm through 4 or 5 o'clock. Beyond that, just some shower activity lingering through the evening before we dry out to kick off the work week. Now, not only are we going to dry out, but we're going to cool down. Tomorrow morning, low 40s. And then we're going to wake up near or below freezing as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday morning. So definitely want those winter coats with you. Walter, good morning. At least the horrific pollen. Yes. Oh my gosh. When I came back to Georgia on Wednesday, I said that my cheeks were like, you could see them through my eyes because my cheeks were so puffy. It was just so bad. The pollen was awful. But yes, you definitely need the winter coats this week. It's going to be colder. In fact, we could have some sort of frost advisory out as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. The National Weather Service was already talking about that. Just a heads up, probably going to need to defrost your car a little bit Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Thursday, we go back into the upper 30s for the morning before heading back into the 40s Friday morning and Saturday morning. Friday is our next first alert, by the way, as we will have a cold front, and you'll see that a little more evident in our high temperatures. 50s tomorrow, low 50s Tuesday when that cold air really settles in behind this weather system, bringing us the rain and storms today. It will be very breezy Monday as well, so it'll feel colder. Be sure to have the jacket with you tomorrow. You'll definitely need it. Mid 60s Thursday, and then Friday is that next cold front that will cool us down for the weekend back into the 50s. So a bit of a chilly weekend on the way with maybe a few lingering morning showers, but it's definitely going to be mainly dry through the afternoon Saturday. So the first alert today for the rain and storms, again, we'll be watching for severe weather, particularly that one storm that could move into parts of Troup and Meriwether counties within the next few minutes. So be sure you have the app with you, because if that does move in to our area, then we will update you on exactly what's going on with that storm. And then as we head into Monday, breezy and cool to kick off the week. Tuesday and Wednesday going to be very cold to start. We could have some upper 20s in our suburbs, maybe a frost advisory, probably gonna have some frost on your windshield Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures do rebound near 60 Wednesday afternoon though, so pretty mild. And then Thursday is beautiful ahead of Friday, where we'll have another cold front that could bring us rain. Well, it looks like it'll bring us widespread rain, maybe a few thunderstorms for the evening commute. This looks to be more of an evening event, and then we'll have a few lingering showers into Saturday, where it will be colder again, with temperatures in the low 50s for Saturday. It'll probably be a little breezy as well. So that's your forecast. Again, today is a first alert. Can't stress enough to have that first alert weather app. It's a great tool if any severe storms happen to fire up, as we are going to be watching that through the morning, already keeping an eye on one storm, and we will keep you posted on that first alert weather app if any severe weather does happen today. Again, the severe threat should end around 4 or 5 o'clock. Then you can kind of let your guard down as you get ready to go to bed tonight and get the new work week started. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. Always glad to answer any you might have, and we'll catch you here next time.